On the Buses, the iconic British sitcom that had audiences laughing from 1969 to 1973, remains a timeless classic, loved for its cheeky humor and unforgettable characters. For over 5 decades, fans have fondly remembered Stan, Jack, and Blakey, whose hilarious antics brought life to the bustling bus depot. But as we step into 2024, the question arises, what happened to the talented cast who made this show a comedy treasure? From career highlights to personal milestones, we'll uncover how their lives have unfolded over the years. Get ready for a heartwarming look at where the stars of On the Buses are now. Bob Grant, born on April 21, 1932, was 37 years old during the filming of On the Buses, 1969 to 1973, where he portrayed Jack Harper, the charming and cheeky bus conductor. Jack was the comedic best friend of Stan Butler, known for his mischievous behavior and pursuit of women. Bob's life, however, was much darker than his character's antics. His early career in television gave him fame, but behind closed doors, Bob battled with severe depression. His personal life included an unhappy marriage, and his struggles with mental health only deepened as the years passed. While his acting career never fully recovered, the pressures of fame and personal loss took a toll. Tragically, Bob Grant's life ended in suicide on November 8, 2003, at the age of 71, a devastating reminder of the personal battles many celebrities face. His death highlighted the darker side of fame, and many who knew him were shocked by how deeply his struggles went despite his public persona. Stephen Lewis, born on December 17, 1926, was 42 years old when he played the iconic role of Inspector Cyril Blakey Blake in On the Buses, 1969 to 1973. Known for his gruff demeanor and unforgettable catchphrase, "I'll get you, Butler," Blakey became one of the most memorable characters of the show. Off-screen, Stephen's life was far from the comedic world of Blakey. Despite his success in television, Stephen's life was filled with personal difficulties. He faced financial instability, family tragedies, and a sense of isolation in his later years. Although he remained a familiar face on television, the later part of his career was marked by a lack of significant roles. Stephen was often private about his personal struggles, and despite his success in the industry, his life was a mixture of highs and lows. He passed away on August 12, 2015, at the age of 88, due to natural causes, after a long life that was not without its share of both joy and personal sorrow. His death marked the end of a remarkable career, though his personal journey was one of both triumph and quiet sadness. Reg Varney was born on July 11, 1916, and gained fame for his portrayal of Stan Butler in On the Buses, which aired from 1969 to 1973. At the time, Varney was 53 years old, and his character, a lovable and resourceful bus driver, became a central figure in the series' comedic world. Born into a working-class family, Varney had a difficult start, working various odd jobs before breaking into acting. He faced several personal challenges throughout his life, including financial troubles despite his fame, and a turbulent marriage that ended in divorce. Varney had one daughter from his first marriage, and while he later remarried, his second marriage also had its difficulties. His career, while successful in his early years, didn't see much growth after On the Buses, and he struggled with maintaining his public persona. As he aged, Reg led a quieter life, with little media attention. He passed away on November 16, 2008, at the age of 92, following a chest infection. Michael Robbins, born on November 14, 1930, is best known for his role as Arthur Rudge, the sarcastic and often grumpy husband of Olive, in On the Buses. At 39 years old during the filming, Robbins' character became a staple of the series, adding tension and humor with his constant clashes with his wife and the rest of the family. Robbins had a rough childhood, marked by the early death of his mother. As an adult, his personal relationships were fraught with issues, including a divorce from his first wife. He had one daughter from this marriage. His career, while initially successful, began to decline after the end of On the Buses, and Robbins struggled with financial instability. His later years were marked by declining health, and he battled prostate cancer for some time. Michael Robbins died on December 11, 1992, at the age of 62, after a prolonged battle with the illness, leaving behind a memorable legacy as a comedic actor. Doris Hair, born on March 1, 1905, portrayed Mabel Butler, or Mum, in On the Buses, playing the doting but occasionally meddlesome mother of Stan and Olive. At 64 years old during filming, Doris brought a unique charm to the character, known for her old-fashioned ways and comedic interactions with her children. Doris' early life was shaped by hardship. She worked in theater before transitioning into television. Her personal life saw its fair share of struggles, particularly the loss of her first husband at a young age, which left her to raise their child alone. Later, Doris remarried, though her second marriage had its own difficulties. Her professional career never reached the heights of international fame, and On the Buses was her defining role. Doris also had a son from her first marriage. Although she found some personal happiness, her professional commitments often overshadowed her private life. Doris Hair passed away peacefully on May 30, 2000, at the age of 95, due to natural causes, leaving behind a legacy of warmth in her work. Sicily Courtage, born on April 1, 1893, was a seasoned stage and screen actress who portrayed Mum in On the Buses, 1969–1973, a character known for her well-meaning, meddling nature that often provided comic relief. At 76 years old during the filming, she brought decades of experience to her role. Sicily's career spanned over half a century, with notable successes in musical theater, and she was especially known for her energetic performances and comedic timing. However, her personal life was filled with hardship. She faced the tragic loss of her only child, which devastated her. Despite the loss, Sicily maintained her career in the public eye, though her later years were marked by isolation. Her marriage to fellow actor Jack Hulbert, with whom she had a professional partnership, ended in a gradual separation. Sicily passed away on April 26, 1980, at 87, from natural causes, leaving behind a legacy of laughter and warmth, but a life overshadowed by personal sorrow. Michael Sher, born on June 18, 1938, was a versatile actor best known for his role as the strict and often irritable manager in On the Buses, 1969–1973, where his authoritative presence provided much of the comedic tension. At the time of filming, he was 35, bringing depth to his character with his trademark gruffness. Outside of On the Buses, Michael was recognized for his wide-ranging work in both television and film, often cast in authoritative or villainous roles. However, his personal life was marred by health problems, including a battle with cancer that he would ultimately succumb to. Michael also struggled with his relationships, facing a difficult marriage that ended in divorce. Despite his professional success, his personal life was plagued by financial instability and a sense of unfulfilled potential. He passed away on August 31, 2005, at the age of 67, after a brave fight with cancer. His death marked the end of a distinguished career, and he is fondly remembered for his portrayal of characters that left a lasting impression on audiences. Jon Lions, born on September 14, 1943, played the role of Bert in On the Buses, 1969–1973, a character known for his friendly and easygoing nature. At the time of filming, he was 28 years old. Like many of his contemporaries, Jon had a promising career ahead of him. However, his personal life revealed a series of hardships. Jon's childhood was marked by financial struggles, and his early career never reached the heights he had hoped for. While his portrayal of Bert brought moments of levity to the show, his own life was far from comedic. He had a troubled marriage that ended in separation, and while he had children, his relationship with them was complicated. As he aged, Jon faced health issues that affected his ability to work, leaving him in financial difficulty. He passed away at the age of 78 on November 28, 2021. His death, although peaceful, was a somber reminder of the challenges many face behind the scenes. Anna Karen, born on September 19, 1936, was 33 years old when she played Olive Rudge in On the Buses, 1969 to 1973, Stan Butler's quirky, dowdy sister. Olive was known for her comedic clumsiness and her difficult marriage to Arthur, a reflection of some of Anna's own personal struggles. Despite her talent, Anna's career was often overshadowed by personal hardships. She struggled with bouts of depression and loss, and her love life was far from smooth. She was married at least once, though the details of her romantic life were often marred by tragedy and heartbreak. Her fame from On the Buses never fully translated into lasting success, and she struggled with maintaining a steady career afterward. Anna's later years were marked by a quiet life away from the spotlight. Tragically, her life ended in a devastating house fire on February 22, 2022, at the age of 85, a heartbreaking conclusion to a life filled with both light-hearted moments and personal grief. Larry Martin, born on March 22, 1934, was a key figure in On the Buses, 1969 to 1973, portraying the lovable, bumbling character of Fred. He was 39 years old at the time of filming, and his performances added much of the series' comedic charm. Larry's career had its ups and downs, but his work on the Buses brought him widespread recognition. Unfortunately, his personal life took a darker turn as he struggled with addiction, a battle that haunted him throughout much of his career. He had been married, but his relationship with his wife was marked by infidelity and emotional distance. Larry had children, but his personal demons created tension within his family. After years of health problems exacerbated by his lifestyle, Larry passed away on August 7, 1994, at the age of 60. The exact cause of his death remains unknown, though it is suspected to be related to his struggles with addiction. His passing was a tragic end to a life that had been filled with both laughter and pain. Norman Mitchell, born on August 27, 1918, played the role of Nobis in On the Buses from 1969 to 1973. At 52 years old during filming, he brought a distinct comedic charm to the show as the bumbling character often caught in misadventures alongside the bus crew. Despite his success on screen, Norman's personal life had its challenges. Raised in a working-class family, he struggled with mental health issues throughout his life, which added to his personal battles. Professionally, while he was well known for his role in On the Buses, his later career lacked the same recognition, and he faced financial difficulties after his acting career tapered off. His marriages were not without their struggles, with his first marriage ending in divorce. He had 2 children, though their relationship with him was often strained due to his erratic behavior. Norman passed away on March 19, 2001, at the age of 82 from undisclosed causes, leaving behind a legacy of memorable comedic roles but also a life marked by personal turmoil. Pat Ashton was born in 1931, and she portrayed Doreen's, a lively and spirited character in On the Buses between 1969 and 1973. At 40 years old during filming, she infused her role with humor and energy, which made her a beloved part of the series. However, Pat's life off-screen was filled with personal hardship. Growing up in a difficult family environment, she faced numerous challenges in her younger years, including periods of financial instability. Her career in acting saw early success but became inconsistent as she grew older, with few major roles after the show. Pat's love life was equally turbulent, marked by a troubled marriage that ended in divorce. She had 1 child, but the relationship between them was strained due to her inability to balance work and family life. Sadly, Pat's health began to decline in her later years. She passed away on June 23, 2013, at the age of 82, from natural causes, leaving a legacy of laughter but also a reminder of the struggles she faced both professionally and personally. Joyce, born on August 20, 1927, was 46 years old when she portrayed Jessie in On the Buses, 1969 to 1973, a strong-willed and humorous character who added a distinctive flair to the show. Known for her sharp wit, Jessie was frequently involved in the comedic misadventures of the series. Off-screen, Eutha's life was riddled with personal struggles that often mirrored the complexity of her roles. Her early years were marked by personal trauma, including a turbulent relationship with her mother. Though she was married twice, both marriages ended in heartache and disappointment, and she never had children. Throughout her career, Youth faced battles with alcohol and struggled to maintain a positive public image. Her health deteriorated rapidly in her 50s, and she tragically passed away from liver failure on August 24, 1980, at the age of 53. Her death was the sad conclusion to a life filled with both professional triumph and deep personal sorrow, leaving behind a legacy of talent and unspoken pain. Wendy Richard, born on July 20, 1943, played the lively and humorous role of Elsie in On the Buses, appearing in the show from 1969 to 1973 when she was 28 years old. Elsie's character was known for being involved in the comic situations of the series, bringing lightness to the often chaotic atmosphere. Wendy's career in acting began at an early age, and she had a notable role in the iconic series EastEnders later in life, though her career experienced ups and downs. Wendy's personal life, however, was marred by sadness. She was married 3 times, but all her marriages ended in divorce. Her first husband, a fellow actor, was part of her life during her early years of fame. Wendy had no children of her own, and while she found love briefly in her second and third marriages, both ended in bitter separations. Her health was a constant struggle, and she fought a brave battle with breast cancer, which ultimately took her life. Wendy Richard passed away on February 26, 2009, at the age of 65. Campbell Singer, born on March 16, 1909, portrayed Mr. Nichols, the strict and authoritative figure who often clashed with the bus crew, adding an edge of tension to the comedic dynamics of On the Buses during its run from 1969 to 1973. At 62 years old during filming, Campbell's acting career had already spanned several decades, with notable stage and film roles. His early life in the theater shaped much of his career, and he was recognized for his ability to play strong, often intimidating characters. His personal life, however, was more difficult. Despite his on-screen persona, Campbell struggled with financial difficulties throughout his career. He was married twice but faced deep unhappiness in his personal relationships, and both marriages ended in divorce. He had children, but his connection with them was often strained. His later years were marked by health issues, and despite his career in the spotlight, Campbell lived in relative obscurity toward the end of his life. Campbell Singer passed away on February 16, 1976, at the age of 66, under undisclosed causes. Jillian Lind, born on August 25, 1904, portrayed Mrs. Rudge in On the Buses, 1969 to 1973, a loving yet occasionally interfering mother figure. At 67 years old during filming, she brought warmth and comedic charm to her role, providing a familiar, often meddlesome presence in the lives of the younger characters. Jillian's career in theater and television was long, but her life was marred by personal sadness. Despite her fame, she never found lasting happiness in her relationships. Her marriage ended in divorce, and she faced the heartbreak of not having children of her own. Throughout her life, Jillian struggled with bouts of depression and loneliness, particularly in her later years. She experienced significant financial instability, which added stress to an already challenging existence. Jillian passed away on October 25, 1983, at the age of 79 from undisclosed causes. Her death marked the end of a quiet and somewhat tragic life, though her legacy remains in the characters she brought to life. Garfield Morgan, born on April 19, 1931, played the strict and often antagonistic Mr. Stilton in On the Buses, 1969 to 1973, a role that highlighted his talent for portraying authoritative figures. At 41 during filming, Garfield's powerful presence on screen made him a memorable part of the series. Although he achieved success in television and film, Garfield's personal life was riddled with hardships. He had a difficult marriage that ended in divorce, leaving him with emotional scars that affected his future relationships. Garfield also faced struggles with his health, battling cancer for many years. His professional life was marked by a series of roles that, while notable, did not always bring the recognition he hoped for. He was also known for financial difficulties in his later years, which put a strain on his personal happiness. Garfield passed away on December 5, 2009, at the age of 78, after a long battle with cancer. His death marked the end of a career that had left a lasting impact on television, even as his personal life remained shadowed by tragedy. Albert Moses, born on November 19, 1937, played the role of Alf in On the Buses, 1969 to 1973, a character who added much of the show's comedic charm with his bumbling and humorous personality. He was 36 years old during filming, and while Alf's clumsy antics made him a fan favorite, Albert's real life was marked by personal hardships. Growing up in a poor family, Albert had to work hard from a young age to support himself. Though his career in television was steady, he found it difficult to secure leading roles outside of the sitcom, and this led to a sense of stagnation in his professional life. Albert married once, but his relationship with his wife was rocky, and they eventually separated. He had one child, a son, but the marriage's breakdown left him estranged from his family for a time. Albert's struggles with health issues and financial instability made his later years difficult. He passed away on September 15, 2017, at the age of 79. The cause of his death has not been disclosed, but his life was marked by a series of personal challenges that often went unnoticed by his fans. Aubrey Morris, born on June 1, 1926, played the role of the quirky marriage counselor in On the Buses from 1969 to 1973, at the age of 46. Known for his eccentric portrayal, his off-screen life was filled with personal struggles. Aubrey came from a working-class background and worked various jobs before gaining recognition in acting. He had a difficult marriage that ended in divorce, followed by a second marriage that also didn't last. Aubrey had 2 children, but his career often left him emotionally distant from his family, and his relationships suffered as a result. Though his acting career brought him steady roles, he never reached major stardom. Aubrey's later years were marked by solitude, as his personal life remained turbulent. He passed away on July 15, 2015, at the age of 89 from natural causes, leaving behind a legacy of memorable roles but a life shadowed by emotional challenges and strained family connections. Ishaq Box, born on June 15, 1917, brought the character of Ahmed to life in On the Buses, 1969 to 1973, a stern and authoritative figure who often clashed with the more free-spirited bus crew. Ishaq was 53 years old during the filming of the series, and his portrayal of Ahmed became iconic for adding tension to the comedic atmosphere of the show. However, Ishaq's personal life was filled with tragedies that left deep emotional scars. Born into a conservative family, he faced immense pressure to meet traditional expectations, which led to conflicts in his early relationships. Though he had a successful career in theater and television, his family life was far from fulfilling. Ishaq married twice, but both of his marriages ended in divorce, and he had no children from either. His battles with depression and loneliness were further compounded by a struggle with his health. After being diagnosed with lung cancer, Ishaq's life took a tragic turn. He passed away on September 2, 2000, at the age of 83, leaving behind a legacy of both triumphs and personal losses. Ivor Salter, born on August 22, 1925, portrayed the strict and authoritative policeman in On the Buses between 1969 and 1973, at the age of 48. Off-screen, Ivor's life was not as orderly as his character. He faced a difficult upbringing and early career struggles, working hard to establish himself in acting. Ivor married young, but his marriage ended in divorce, mainly due to his controlling and distant nature. Despite having 3 children, his relationships with them were strained as he often prioritized his work over his family. Although he was well recognized for his role in On the Buses, Ivor's career did not have the longevity or success of many of his peers. His personal life was marked by isolation, and in his later years, he lived alone, grappling with the choices he had made. Ivor passed away on June 21, 1991, at the age of 65 due to undisclosed causes, leaving behind a legacy of strong but often emotionally distant characters, mirroring his own personal struggles. Sandra Bryant was born on September 30, 1945. She portrayed Sandra in the sitcom On the Buses, 1969 to 1973, playing the charming and attractive character who often found herself the center of romantic attention and added humor to the series. At the time of filming, she was 28 years old. Despite her successful role on television, Sandra's personal life was marked by some tragic moments. She had a difficult childhood, growing up in an unstable environment. Her career saw some highs, but the pressures of fame led to struggles with her mental health, causing a period of relative obscurity in the latter part of her life. Her love life was far from smooth. She married a fellow actor, but their marriage ended in divorce. She had 2 children, though the relationship with her family remained strained over time. She faced significant hardships in later years, including health problems and financial difficulties. Now in her late 70s, Sandra has mostly stayed out of the public eye, living a quiet life away from the entertainment industry. Ursula Mohan, born on January 9, 1946, was a promising young actress when she was cast as Joyce in On the Buses, 1969 to 1973. At just 23 years old during filming, Ursula's lively, spirited character brought a refreshing energy to the show. Her career started on a high note, but her personal life was more turbulent. Ursula grew up in a challenging environment, and her first marriage ended in a painful divorce, which took a toll on her emotional well-being. She continued to act occasionally, but her career never reached the same heights as it did during On the Buses. Ursula's struggles with relationships and her career choices contributed to a more private life as she aged. Although she married again later, the relationship also ended in divorce. Today, Ursula is in her late 70s and lives away from the public eye, having largely stepped away from the entertainment industry. Her life has been marked by personal battles, but she remains remembered for her charming role in the iconic sitcom. Stensgard, born on May 14, 1946, was just 24 years old when she played Ingrid in On the Buses, 1969 to 1973, a character known for her charm, beauty, and as a romantic interest that often added a dash of glamour to the series. Despite her youthful age during the filming, Ute's life was far from the carefree role she portrayed. She had a promising start in acting, but her career struggled to reach lasting success. Her personal life was marked by numerous ups and downs, including several relationships that were troubled and short-lived. While she was married at one point, the marriage ended in divorce, and yet never had children. Her career was a series of fleeting roles, and she eventually faded from the public eye. The pressures of being in the limelight, coupled with personal disappointments, took a toll on her. Now at 78, she disappeared from acting, and while her later years remain largely private, her story is one of unfulfilled potential and quiet personal battles. Shirley Steedman, born in 1949, played the charming and attractive character of Eileen in On the Buses, appearing in the show during its 1969 to 1973 run. At just 22 years old, Shirley's portrayal of Eileen, the object of affection in many comedic moments, captured the playful and romantic atmosphere of the series. Though her time in On the Buses was brief, Shirley's role helped establish her as a rising star. However, her career did not continue its upward trajectory. She faced many challenges in the entertainment industry, including typecasting and limited opportunities. Shirley's personal life was filled with turmoil, particularly her struggles with relationships and the pressures of fame at a young age. She married once, but the relationship ended in a quick and bitter divorce. She had no children, and her family life was far from ideal, often marked by isolation. Later in life, Shirley faded from the public eye, and now she is 75 and little is known about her current life. Andrea Lawrence, born on June 20, 1936, played Susie in On the Buses, 1969 to 1973, a character full of energy, humor, and charm that brought a sense of liveliness to the sitcom. At the time of filming, she was 35 years old, bringing a youthful yet experienced presence to her role. Andrea's career in film and television began in the 1950s, but she struggled to find lasting success, with her role in On the Buses being one of her most significant. Outside of acting, her personal life was fraught with difficulties. She married twice, but both marriages ended in divorce, leaving her emotionally scarred. She never had children, which added to her sense of isolation. Andrea's later years were marked by financial troubles and loneliness. Despite her early potential, she found herself fading into obscurity. As of now, Andrea is in her late 80s, but she has largely withdrawn from the public eye, with few details about her life today. Rudolph Walker, born on September 28, 1939, portrayed the character George in On the Buses, 1969 to 1973. He was 30 years old at the time, bringing youthful energy and a lively spirit to the show. Off-screen, Rudolph faced a much tougher reality. He came from humble beginnings and struggled to establish himself in the competitive world of acting. While his role as George brought him recognition, his personal life was far from the cheerful nature of his on-screen persona. Rudolph had a tumultuous marriage, which eventually ended in divorce. He had 2 children, but the relationship with his ex-wife was strained, and his involvement in their upbringing was limited. His career fluctuated over the years, with moments of success followed by extended periods of obscurity. Despite the ups and downs, Rudolph continued to work in television, but his personal life remained a source of heartache. As of today, at the age of 85, Rudolph has found peace in his life, though his earlier years were marred by personal and professional struggles. Who's your favorite character from On the Buses? How do you feel knowing that some of the actors have passed away? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss future videos. Thank you so much.